Okay, so remember when we mentioned that this is like a romance? So if she says yes, looks like you just got a new partner. Now this person is absolutely precious to you. You need to get them off to the absolute best possible start so that they stay in the business and they feel success quickly. Anyone who doesn't feel success within 2 weeks of joining are likely to become very disillusioned. They're likely to leave, or they're likely to start saying things like, oh look, I was only joining to see how it would go, I don't really care about the money, or I was only joining just for a bit of a hobby. But that's not what they were saying right at the beginning 2 weeks ago. So it's very important. Now we're not going to go into how to train a new person in this session. That would probably deserve a whole webinar series on its own, and maybe sometime in the future if there's a bit of a demand for it, maybe we could do that, but we're not doing it now. But there are a few things that you can do straight away that are going to help her quickly and help her stay excited. Now to begin with, don't forget, now they've just signed up, they're all excited, they're all keen. Now they just need to feel confident that they're going to be able to get some bookings. Now you can do this part at the time of them signing if they've got time. They need about another half an hour. It's really good if you can do this part then. And all you're going to do is give them a little bit of information so that they can actually go out and do something. You know, they're all excited, they signed up. Don't just leave them hanging. Give them something to do. They want to go and start their business. So first of all, make sure that you congratulate them about their excellent decision, welcome them onto the team, let them know how much fun it's going to be, and that you're really happy to have them with you. Next thing is that they're going to want to know what happens next. So get your diary out, let them know when the next training is, let them know what day their kit will probably arrive, let them know that they need to come and watch you do a party so that they can start forming in their own mind how they're going to do their parties, make a date for that. So make a few dates for things. Then you need to show them how to get some bookings, because they're going to go out. What will happen is that they'll go out, they're going to be excited, they're going to go and contact all their friends, and they don't know how to talk to their friends. Their friends are going to say, you're crazy, what are you doing? And they're not going to book. So then later, 2 days later, when you finally get round to showing them how to get bookings, it's too late. They've already spoken to all their friends. So they need to know how to approach their friends for bookings straight away. Don't assume they're going to read that out of a manual or anything as well. You could actually give them a goal to get a certain number of bookings in a certain amount of time. If you did that, that would be great, because you can explain to them that, you know, if you do one party every now and again, you're always going to be doing your first party every single week or every single month. But if you can do 6 parties in 3 weeks, that's 2 a week, you're going to be completely comfortable with them, and you're going to really be on a good roll. So you could give them a bit of a goal for how many bookings they should do in a certain amount of time, with a gift attached to it that might go in their kit. You could give them some host reward vouchers so that they can go and explain the host rewards to their friends that are going to book, and give them a few basics of what they need. You know, that maybe some host packs, maybe some little parts of the manual that they would really like to read, some exciting stuff. You know, I know that when I first joined, I just wanted to read stuff. I was one of these nutcases that took my manual to bed with me with a highlighter pen, and I sat up all night reading it, and I looked through the product catalogue, and it would have been awful if all I'd done is sign up and then gone home with nothing. So this is just stuff that they can get started on and get excited about. Now don't overload them though, don't give them too much, and when their kit arrives, whatever you have possibly pre-purchased from the company to give them in advance, take it back out of their kit so that you've got it for the next person. Make sure you always talk to your people about dream stealers and buckets of cold water. If she didn't have time to stay, she had to leave, and you weren't able to do this whole thing with her straight away, at least talk to her about dream stealers, about people who aren't going to be as excited about what she's doing as she is, and tell her how to deal with them. All she needs to know is what to say. So all you need to do is get her to thank them for their concern, let them know that they may well be right, that maybe she is crazy, but that she's really keen to give it a go and just see what happens. So if you can give her some words around what she can say to those people, that would be brilliant, because then she won't feel terrible when it happens. Now, the buckets of cold water made a huge difference in my business. I would have people join me, they'd go out, try and get bookings, and they'd call up all depressed because all these people had rejected them. So it was a bit like having a bucket of cold water poured over you. So I started saying to my new people that I explained to them what a bucket of cold water was, and I said, now, I've got a challenge in my team for new people. Anyone who can get 6 buckets of cold water in 3 days gets to go for a 5-star champagne lunch with me. And it was so funny because from that minute on, they were going out trying to get buckets of cold water. And we know that the more people say no to you, the more yeses you're going to get, because you need to get the no's to get the yeses. It means you're asking people. And I can remember one consultant who called me up and she was distraught because she'd only managed to get 5 buckets of cold water and she really wanted to go for the lunch. She needed another one. So I said, well, you probably need to make some more phone calls then. So that was a really good way of changing the attitude in people's minds around rejection as well. Okay, so we have to also understand that this business is not for everyone, and it's important that you take it or leave it attitude, and know that this is something that we used to have on our wall. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. And it became a funny thing that we used to use in our group. When someone had tried to recruit someone and they'd said no, they would call me up and go, oh, I was just talking to an SW just then. And then I would respond with, oh, well, someone's waiting. You've got another one waiting. So SW is quite a fun thing just to keep in your mind.